Restorative justice is a collaborative dialogue and decision-making process between all of the parties who have been impacted by a specific conflict or incident. USD's Restorative Justice program has an important role in helping community members move forward from a conflict in a manner that invites reflection, engagement, and nurtures empathy and compassion for themselves and others. The restorative conference process involves 5 stages designed to provide a safe space for impacted parties, those responsible, and community members to address difficult situations face-to-face in order to repair harm, promote healing and learning, and build community. Most students are referred to restorative justice through USD's student conduct hearing process. Students interested in a restorative option for addressing their code violation should speak with their conduct officer about RJ. A conduct hearing officer may also introduce RJ when they feel it is appropriate. Participation in RJ is voluntary, and students interested will sign an agreement to participate with the hearing officer. A student may withdraw from the process at any time, but this would result in a meeting with the same conduct officer to determine what next steps are appropriate.
Except for some of the awkward eye contact that I would have with maybe someone around campus, I hadn't really seen too many people involved with the incident. Restorative justice kind of gave me an opportunity to identify some unresolved issues, give me a good place to address those, as well as apologize for what I had done in a situation where I was supported by the people around me.
Your case will be referred to an RJ facilitator who will contact you to set up a meeting known as a pre-conference. The facilitator is a member of the USD community who is trained to bring people together who are connected to a specific incident. Facilitators are invested community members who work to create spaces of open dialogue, clarify the wants and needs of each participant, and keep the restorative process intact. This pre-conference is a one-on-one meeting between you and the facilitator. It is a time to prepare for the actual conference by discussing the incident, identifying any harm or impact that your actions created, and exploring options for repairing the harm and/or apologizing for the behavior.
So in the pre-conference, I want to meet with each individual and learn as much as possible about their experience so that they feel completely supported as they're coming into the conference experience.
By the end of the pre-conference, you will understand what the conference process will look like, what the ground rules are, and who the impacted parties you would like to invite are, and begun to have brainstorm options for how you might repair any impact or harm.
Meeting with the facilitator was important because it helped us to identify the people who should be invited to take part with restorative justice in my case, but also it gave me a better idea of what exactly I was going to be going through that process.
The facilitator will begin to contact impacted parties identified by the person responsible in the pre-conference and set up a meeting to discuss their participation in the restorative conference. Participation from impacted parties is voluntary but encouraged, as it very often creates several benefits for those involved, including hearing what happened from the student, having their voice heard, restitution if needed, a say in the outcome, building relationships, closure, and healing.
I was really curious to hear from the student about why they did what they did. I was mostly interested in what they were thinking and how they felt, and I really felt that the conference gave me this opportunity. I was not expecting that at all.
By the end of the pre-conference, you will have had an opportunity to share your experience, learn about what the conference process will look like, understand the ground rules, and talk to the facilitator about what would be helpful to you in moving forward.
My hope is that impacted parties know how important they are to this process, because their willingness to participate shows something really important about our USD community, that we are willing to come together and to engage in a really special way through constructively dealing with conflict and by learning and reflecting together.
The facilitators begin by working to create a safe space for the conference by introducing everyone involved, reminding the group of the ground rules, and covering any expectations for confidentiality. At this point, the person responsible begins by discussing what they remember about the incident and taking responsibility for what they can. Impacted parties are able to ask questions they have about the student's experience.
So coming into the session, I had really taken a lot of time to reflect on what had happened, so that when we were sitting down and talking to each other, I had a number of points where I could talk about what I had done, how maybe that had made other people feel, and really gave me a good sense of what I was doing there and what really needed to get done.
Then each impacted party has an opportunity to share how they were affected by the incident and any reflections they have had since the incident. Once hearing each impacted party's experience, the person responsible has an opportunity to offer a deeper reflection about their behavior and responsibility. Students often use this opportunity to offer a fuller apology now that they understand the experience of the impacted parties.
Our session was really important, and I found a number of things had made it so that I really felt what I had done to the other people. It allowed me to hear what they were saying, how they were impacted by it, and it really made my apology much richer because I was able to connect with them and understand how the actions I took actually impacted other people.
The focus of the Restorative Conference then turns to a collaborative decision-making process for creating an action plan that both supports the person responsible's connection to the community and fulfills the needs of the impacted parties. Together with the facilitator, everyone will write and sign a restorative agreement that they have all contributed and agreed to.
The Restorative Conference was an opportunity for us all to share how we were personally impacted by the incident and hear each other's perspectives on what actually happened. And it was also a chance for us all to think about what the harm had been done and then how we need to work together to repair it in the future.
Following the Restorative Conference, the facilitator will deliver the restorative agreement to the original hearing officer, who manages any follow-up and ensures the agreements are completed. They will also notify conference participants when all agreements are completed. Very often, the facilitator will stay in touch with the student to check in and see how they are doing. We want students to know that there are many individuals at USD dedicated to their success, and for many students, the restorative process helps connect them with new resources and mentors during their time at USD. Students who participate in the Restorative Justice program have the opportunity not just to focus on violations of rules and policies, but to understand that their behavior also violated relationships and membership in the community. The program takes students through a process of deeper accountability, reconciliation, and reparation, leading to a feeling of acceptance and integration in the community. Restorative Justice helps create opportunities for our students to model positive interactions and create new ways of connecting with each other through authentic dialogues. After exposure to the practice of restorative justice, students are encouraged to engage restoratively with the world around them.
Coming out of restorative justice, I actually feel really good about what happened. I had gone in feeling a little bit tentative, pretty awkward, knowing that we were there because I had done something wrong. But what we went through allowed me, to understand how my actions impacted others, but also feel connected with them because we were able to talk through what had happened. It almost felt like we were developing somewhat of a community between us to repair those bridges that had been broken, and it felt good.
For more information about USD's Restorative Justice Program, find us online at www.sandiego.edu/conduct.